You're juggling a lot, but you can still squeeze in a financial plan. With the Northwestern Mutual Financial Advisor as your partner, it's not only possible, it's personalized. So if you're tying the knot, closing on a house, or welcoming a little one, you'll be ready for whatever life tosses your way. It's the right time to feel less stressed and more certain. That's a better way to money. Let's get started at nm.com. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Protein is now at Starbucks, and it's never tasted so good. Try our all-new caramel protein lattes with up to 31 grams of protein and options with no added sugar.
Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.
Level up your drink at Starbucks.
Finding ways to be financially savvy is a smart move, and knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want, like that dream home or new ride, is a great feeling. That's why the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you save when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
If something in your relationship feels off, but you can't explain why. If you've spent years trying harder in the relationship, and yet it just keeps hurting, this space is for you. Welcome to the Covert Narcissism Podcast. Imagine this story. Nothing is wrong. You're standing in the kitchen drying a mug that you just cleaned. The coffee maker is humming softly and the house feels ordinary. Quiet, it's just a normal day. They, meaning your spouse, whether your husband or wife or maybe even significant other, they walk in and they drop their keys on the counter. Not hard, but not gentle either. You glance up and you simply ask, "Hey, do you want to come with me later when I run to the store?" Your tone is light, almost absent-minded. This is a normal invitation, nothing special. You don't mean anything negative by it, and in fact, you would love to have their company. You continue drying the dishes while you ask. Well, they don't answer right away, and you notice this. You also notice the way their shoulders stiffen, the way their eyes stay fixed on their phone. "I already told you I'm busy today," they say flatly. Absolutely no warmth in their tone. You turn toward them, genuinely confused, and respond, "Oh, okay. I didn't realize that included the store. I was just asking." Well, now they exhale sharply, and they finally look at you just long enough to be uncomfortable before saying, "Why do you always make things complicated?" Your chest tightens. You set the mug down carefully, slower than necessary. Now you are guarding your words cautiously. "I wasn't trying to be complicated. I honestly didn't think it was a big deal." They shake their head and turn away, opening the fridge and staring at it without taking anything out. "You always do this," they say firmly. "You ask things in a way that puts pressure on me." You soften your tone as much as you know how. You are truly trying to just genuinely talk with them. Not reactive, not upset. "I didn't mean it that way," you say quietly. "I wasn't upset. I was just checking." They close the fridge a little too hard. "See," they say, "now you're defending yourself like I accused you of something." Your stomach drops. Heat creeps up in your face. Your mind is in full panic mode. "I'm not defending myself," you say more quietly now. "I'm just explaining." They sigh, loud and theatrical, rubbing their forehead. "I can't even answer a simple question without it turning into a whole thing." You feel yourself collapsing inside. You feel yourself collapsing inside. "You're right," you say. "I shouldn't have said anything." They grab their keys again, sharply this time, already walking away, and they smart off exactly. The room feels different now. Tighter, colder, harsher. You stand there, coffee untouched, replaying the moment that it all shifted, trying to figure out where you went wrong. And as the silence settles, the voice inside you takes over. Why do I always make things worse? I was just trying to be normal. Why can't I talk without it turning into something? This has to be my fault. What's wrong with me? But here's the truth. You didn't create tension by asking them if they wanted to go to the store. Tension was already there. It was already there inside of them. It was just waiting for a place to land, and you became that place. Nothing about that exchange was a conflict until they turned it into one. Here's the part we don't talk about enough. When you collapse inward and take the blame, they walk away satisfied. In their mind, the tension has been resolved. Well, it has. Their tension has because they just dumped it onto you. Not because anything was repaired, but because responsibility landed exactly where they wanted it to, on you. You just became the pressure release valve for their tension. They get relief without reflection, validation without accountability, calm without any change or effort. They don't have to examine their tone, at least they don't examine their tone, or their reactivity, or their inability to tolerate just neutral moments. They don't sit with their discomfort or wonder if they handled something poorly. The relationship stays intact without requiring any growth from them because you do all the work. You do all the emotional heavy lifting for both of you. For them, this is a great deal, but for you, it's a lousy bargain. You walk away smaller, confused, carrying shame that doesn't belong to you, replaying the interaction, searching for what you did wrong, rehearsing how you will do better next time. Your nervous system stays activated long after the moment is over, while theirs settles into relief. They get to move on. You get stuck with the residue. Over time, this exchange teaches a devastating lesson that peace comes from self-erasure, that harmony requires you to doubt yourself, you to give in, that being good in the relationship means absorbing the blame, their blame, so that they don't have to. That may work for them. Like I said, it's a great deal for them, but it slowly costs you your sense of self, and that's a lousy bargain. Any relationship that only feels stable when one person collapses inward is not balanced. It's maintained at someone else's expense. Now let's pause for a moment here because we need to get real. How exactly is it a problem, your problem, to ask your partner if they want to run to the store with you? Come on now. This is not a complaint, not a criticism, not pressure, just a neutral, everyday question between two adults that share a life together. And yet you walk away convinced you did something wrong. Please try to take a step back and look at this from an outside perspective. Your question was not the problem, but as soon as you asked it, everything went sideways after that. And it doesn't stop here. Think of all the 100 or more other things that have somehow become a problem. How is it a problem to ask if there's enough gas in the car for you to go run your errands? Or asking what time they think they'll be home for dinner? Or if they can pick up the kids today? Or what they would like to drink? These are normal, everyday questions when you share life with somebody. But yet, they go sideways repeatedly. This isn't you being difficult for asking these things. This is how humans coordinate life. You are two adults sharing space together, sharing life together, sometimes sharing kids together, finances, schedules. These types of questions and interactions are normal. And yet in these dynamics, even neutral questions are treated like personal attacks, and somehow you end up blaming yourself. Now, if you're thinking this only happens in romantic relationships, let's move this into the workplace. Here's another story to consider. It's mid-morning, not a rushed morning, not a stressful morning, just another workday. You're standing at the printer waiting for a document to finish when your coworker walks by. So you glance up and you say, "Hey, quick question. Are you planning to be on the client call this afternoon?" Now, this is a normal question. It's casual and informative. You just need to know so that you can prepare your side of the call. You expect this to be a simple conversation with a simple answer, but it's not. They pause, not because they didn't hear you, but because they did. They don't look at you. They're staring at their phone, and they sharply say, "That was already addressed." Well, the printer beeps, you reach for the pages, and you politely say, "Oh, okay. I must have missed it. I just wanted to confirm." That's your way of kind of making peace here, okay? This is a very gentle, self giving response in a potentially unsettling situation. But now they sarcastically remark, "Why do you keep double checking things? You're not in charge here." Your stomach drops. You lower your voice. "I wasn't double checking. I know I'm not in charge. I just wanted to make sure that we were aligned so I can prepare how I need to for the call." Well, now they smile thinly. Interesting, because it sounds like you're questioning my follow through. Your brain scrambles and thinking becomes difficult now. "No, sorry, that's not what I meant." They glance around the office and then back at you. "Well, this is what I mean. Every conversation feels like a challenge with you." A couple of your coworkers now glance up. You feel exposed. "That wasn't my intention," you quietly say. "I wasn't trying to challenge anything." Well, they now loudly announce, "Let's move on. I don't have time for your craziness." And just like that, it's over. Not resolved. You still don't have an answer about the client call. Just over. You go to your desk, you stare at your screen. What just happened here? Your internal voice shows up. Why did I even ask them? Why can't I just leave things alone and figure it out on the spot, I guess? I should have known better. I always make things harder than they need to be. In these scenarios, over time, what happens is you lose your sense of normal. You no longer know, is it normal to ask these questions?
The secret is out. With millions of younger looking customers across the country, Plexiderm is one of the most highly sought after products on the market. It visibly shrinks under eye bags and smooths out crow's feet in minutes, and the effects last up to 10 hours. Influencers love it, magazines feature it, and people just can't get enough of it. As a matter of fact, Elle Magazine gave it an Editor's Choice Award as Best Instant Wrinkle Filler for 2025. In as little as 10 minutes, Plexiderm reduces the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and those dreaded under-eye bags. So yes, you can look years younger in minutes, and the effects last for hours. No surgery, no gimmicks, just results. The best news, you can try Plexiderm for only $14.95. Plus, get free shipping. Don't wait. Order Plexiderm today. Visit plexiderm.com/special. That's plexiderm.com/special. Paid for by Sheer Science.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Or not, in either the work relationship or the family relationship. You stop asking, "Was that reasonable?" and you start asking, "What's wrong with me?" You no longer measure behavior by reality. You measure it instead by fallout. And when the fallout is always bad, the conclusion becomes, "I must be the problem." But hold on a minute here. What about them? What about their inability to tolerate neutral questions without becoming defensive or attacking? What about their chronic tension, their hair trigger reactivity, their need to turn ordinary moments into power struggles and competition? What about the fact that they experienced a simple, reasonable question as a threat? And instead of managing their own discomfort, they displaced it onto you. That tension didn't originate in that moment. It didn't come from your tone, your timing, or your wording. It was already there. It was already living inside of them. It just came spilling out at you. You were their nearest target. When someone carries that much unresolved internal pressure, someone around them is going to feel that. And it just happened to be you. That doesn't make you the problem. It means you were the nearest, easiest place for their discomfort to land. So here's the grounding question I want you to start asking yourself. Would this question or comment be a problem in a healthy environment? Would that question be a problem in my other relationships? Would it be a problem if someone asked it to me? Instead of asking if you should have phrased it differently, ask, was their response itself reasonable? If the answer is no, then the issue wasn't you. Now, if you've been walking around believing you're the problem, consider this statement. Maybe you're not. Maybe you were just trying to be normal in a place that couldn't tolerate normal. And anyone would start doubting themselves in that environment. Here is a moment of reflection. Why do we blame ourselves so easily? Because we are self-reflective people, and that's what self-reflective people do. They look inward first. We ask, what was my part? How could I have handled that better? Did I miss something? That capacity for self-examination is not a flaw. It's a sign of emotional intelligence, empathy, and maturity. But here's the problem. In unsafe or manipulative environments, that strength gets exploited. While you are reflecting, the other person is deflecting. While you are taking inventory, they are offloading. And because you're the only one willing to look inward, you end up carrying responsibility that was never meant to be yours. Self-reflective people don't default to blame because they're weak. They do it because it feels responsible. It feels like growth. It feels like the fastest way to restore harmony. And in healthy relationships, they're not wrong. This is true. Even in unhealthy ones, it may seem to work for a little bit, at least on the surface. But over time, it turns into self-abandonment. This is where boundaries come in, not the kind that are about confrontation or ultimatums, but internal boundaries, quiet ones, steady ones. Boundaries like, I will not automatically assume fault. I will not internalize someone else's tension. I will pause before assuming that I'm the problem. These are not defensive walls, they are filters. A boundary like I will not internalize someone else's tension means recognizing that discomfort does not always belong to you. Someone else's irritation, defensiveness, or mood shift is not a verdict on your character. You are allowed to notice it without absorbing it. You're allowed to stay curious without turning cruel toward yourself. Over time, these types of boundaries allow self-reflection to go back to its rightful place as a tool for growth, not a weapon turned inward. You still reflect, you still care, you just stop doing it at your own expense. Now, there's another piece here that really matters. It's one that many self-reflective people have never been told. Your self-reflection didn't just keep you stuck. It actually made you very appealing to someone with covertly narcissistic traits. Not because there's anything wrong with you, but because those traits fit perfectly into the kind of relationship they want. Remember, it's a great deal for them. Covert narcissists don't want someone who points fingers easily. They don't want someone who holds up mirrors in front of them. They want someone who looks inward first. Someone who asks, what was my part? Someone who's willing to give them the benefit of the doubt while they do all the work themselves. And self-reflective people do exactly that. They are thoughtful. They are emotionally available. They're willing to repair. They can tolerate discomfort and ambiguity. And in a healthy relationship, those qualities are golden. But in a covertly narcissistic dynamic, those same qualities get quietly exploited. While you're wondering how to do better, they're relieved that they don't have to. While you're carrying the emotional labor of the relationship, processing, repairing, explaining, softening, they get to stay untouched, unquestioned, and unaccountable. They need someone who will do that heavy lifting. Someone who will bend, adjust, and adapt so that they don't have to. Someone who will keep the relationship moving forward while they stay exactly where they are. And self-reflective people are very good at that until they burn out. This is why so many survivors say, I tried everything. You probably did. You tried communicating better, being clearer, being calmer, being more patient, more understanding. And the fact that nothing changed wasn't because you didn't try hard enough. It's because they didn't. I want to give you an assignment this week. When you hear the thought, I am the problem, or when you feel that pit in your stomach that you have done something wrong or that you're in trouble, pause and ask yourself, what was I actually doing when this belief or feeling showed up? Ask yourself, who was I talking to? Not what did I say wrong, not how should I have handled it better, but who was I talking to in that moment? Because patterns matter. Notice if there's a particular person around whom you consistently feel like you're in trouble. Your partner, a coworker, a family member, a friend, the person that you brace around, the one whose mood you monitor, the one you rehearse conversations with in your head before you speak. If the thought, I am the problem, reliably shows up after interactions with the same individual, that's not random. That's data that you need to consider. If you feel grounded, reasonable, and capable in most areas of your life, but suddenly feel confused, self-doubting, or ashamed around one specific person, that contrast, you need to notice it. People don't become too much in isolation. They become too much in environments that can't tolerate normal human presence. Now, let me say this more clearly. If you consistently feel like you're walking on eggshells, like you're always about to get it wrong, like you need to apologize just to keep the peace, there is a strong possibility that the issue is not your communication style, your sensitivity, or your personality. It may be that you are interacting with someone who offloads their internal tension onto others. So before you conclude that you're difficult, dramatic, or the problem, pause and ask that different question. Who was I talking to? And then notice what happens when you imagine that same comment, question, or request landing in a healthier space. If it would not have caused fallout there, that tells you something important. You may simply have been trying to be yourself in a place that could not hold you. And recognizing that distinction can be the beginning of getting your internal compass back. Take that with you this week. Take this boundary. I will not internalize someone else's tension. And I wish you so much peace on your journey of healing. If there were ever an audience that I wish did not have to exist, it would be this one. Because of what it means you've lived through. I'm truly sorry that you understand this so deeply. And I'm really glad that you're here. May this be a place of safety, clarity, and peace. You are not alone anymore, and you don't have to figure this out by yourself. If this episode resonated with you, please subscribe so you don't miss future conversations. And if you'd like to learn more about the support, resources, or coaching that is available for you, you can visit covertnarcissism.com. While I hate it for everyone who understands what I am talking about, I'm really glad that you're here, and I wish you so much peace on your journey of healing. The information provided by Renee Swanson, Covert Narcissism Podcast, and CNG Life Coaching is for educational purposes only and is not to be used for diagnosis purposes. It is not intended to be a substitute for clinical care. Please consult a healthcare provider for guidance specific to your case. This material discusses narcissism in general. Renee shares stories from her personal experience as well as from those that she has worked with for several years. Her material does not claim that any specific person has narcissism and should not be used to refer to any specific person as having narcissism. Permission is not granted to link to or repost this material to support an allegation or support a claim that any specific person is a narcissist. That would be an unauthorized misuse of the material and the information provided. Thank you.
With Venmo Stash, a toggle on one hand and ordering a ride in the other means you're stacking cash back. With Venmo Stash, get up to 5% cash back when you pick a bundle of your favorite brands. Earn more cash when you do more with Stash. Venmo Stash terms and exclusions apply. Max $100 cash back per month. See terms at venmo.me/stash terms.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Amazon One Medical presents Painful Thoughts.
I've been on hold to make a doctor's appointment for 23 minutes now. The automated voice has told me 47 times that my call is very important to them. I'm starting to think that they don't think my call is important at all.
With Amazon One Medical 24/7 virtual care, you'll get help fast without having to remain on the line to make an appointment. Amazon One Medical. Healthcare just got less painful.
February is the month of being in love with a rich, creamy sensation of My Mochi ice cream. My Mochi is premium ice cream wrapped in soft, chewy dough. It's like a sweet ice cream dumpling. It comes in delicious fruit flavors like strawberry and mango, and classic favorites like cookies and cream. Every box of My Mochi has 6 mochis, so it's fun to share with the people you love most. Grab a purple box of My Mochi ice cream today and feel joyfully chill.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.